Hello and welcome back to the JC Pod. I'm your host JC, Jaden Chandler Parnell, or your boy JCP. Decent amount of NFL news, but like I said, I might keep this true to what I said, make it only college, but I might start out with just saying like 2 or 3 things NFL wise because there were some big NFL stories that happened yesterday. Daniel Jones signed a deal. Lamar Jackson, franchise tag. Saquon Jones, franchise tagged. Now, Lamar Jackson is non-exclusive. Somebody can trade 2 first-round picks and get him. Will they? I don't know. This is going to be very interesting. I would not be shocked if a team did. Because, the weirdest thing, though, I don't want to touch on this too long. Sorry, I'm trying to grab something as well. I don't want to touch on this too long. But there's, rumors of collusion in the NFL about not giving out guaranteed contracts. That's why so many people have come out and said no, because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, well, we wanted Deshaun Watson. We wanted Deshaun Watson. They were willing to do that, but now comes Lamar Jackson. All of a sudden, everyone's kind of quiet. Nobody's saying much. So very interesting for sure. I don't know what's going to happen to the whole Lamar situation. Just it gets wilder and wilder. Now I won't be shocked if he doesn't return. But now it's going to be the game of, is somebody going to give up the 2 first-round picks to get into the club? That's basically, what you got to do. You got to get up 2 first picks, you get into the club, and then after you get into the club, it's like, are you going to be the winner? Because my guess is there's going to be 4 to 5 teams that want Lamar Jackson. A lot have come out publicly and said they didn't want him, but I feel like there's a little gamemanship there, and that they definitely want to. So yeah, those are the big news. Daniel Jones signed, I think, a 4-year, 160 deal or something like that, so I just adds fuel to the fire as well. For the Lamar Jackson situation, yeah, that's about it. Those are a few things I want to touch on. Aaron Rodgers is visiting the Jets, and the more and more it sounds like it, the more and more he might be a Jet. It's getting really scary now. For Packers fans, the more it sounds like. The more it comes out, the more realistic he looks as a Jet, not a Packer potentially, but we're going to see. The only time will tell. It's still very early in the offseason, but that's not why we came here today. Today, it's about the madness, man. Some more teams punched their ticket for March Madness. There's a few conference tournaments, like the Power 5 schools are basically all starting now. I'm just trying to... So for the Big Ten, for example, you had Ohio State, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Nebraska last night. Ohio State and Minnesota both won, both the underseeds. I don't even want to get into the Nebraska game. That was shocking. Minnesota shut the complete lights out of the gym. That was... I couldn't, watching the game, I thought Nebraska might have been the 8-win team, the way that they ended up playing. So now Nebraska their tournament hopes are probably gone. They're probably all but gone. I hate to say it, but losing to a Minnesota team like that in the first round of the tournament, yeah, I think it's safe to say there's a good chance that they're probably out of the tournament. But yeah, just to touch on some of these some of these teams did already make the tournament. You might hear me say them again. Kennesaw State, I remember we touched on that one. Montana State now in the tournament. UNC Asheville in the tournament. College of Charleston in the tournament. Northern Kentucky in the tournament. We got Drake in the tournament. Fairleigh Dickinson, which I do remember I touched on. Southeast Missouri State, Colgate, Texas A&M Corpus Christian, Oral Roberts, Louisiana Raging Cajuns, and Gonzaga. Those are all the teams that have now officially have a auto bid. They're in the tournament for sure, no questions asked. Gonzaga so far is Gonzaga and Oral Roberts, I think, potentially the only 2 teams on that list that if they didn't win their conference, they could have made it. Oral Roberts for sure Oral Roberts probably needed to win more to help out, but for Gonzaga, I think they're going to make the tournament regardless. They just had a really dominant win against St. Mary's that might help them become a 1 seed. Truly. They played amazing. Or, excuse me, a 2 seed, not a 1 seed. I think they got a real inside shot to be a 2 seed now. Will they be? I don't know. There's a chance they end up a 3 seed because there's some really strong 2 seeds like Baylor, Alabama could drop to a 2 seed depending on what happens. Texas A&M could move up to a 2 seed if they win their conference. So, yeah. Basically, so now the best of the conferences are going today. So on Monday's episode for sure, we'll break down a little bit of the bracket. Because, yeah, basically, March Madness is all but here. We just got Selection Sunday. Is this Sunday, I believe. Crazy to think that's already here. Yeah, we just basically got to finish all these conference tournaments. The conference tournaments still got to go on. There's the MEAC, Mountain West, Pac-12, Patriot League, SEC. Oh, Furman. I didn't say Furman as well. Furman won the Southern, so they are in the tournament as well as an auto bid. So Southern does not need. So here, I'm going to go over this again. So the SWAC, the WAC, the SEC, Pac-12, Mountain West, MEAC, MAC, MAAC, Ivy League, Conference USA, Big West, Big 10, Big East, Big 12, ACC, Atlantic 10, American Athletic, American East. Those are all the conferences that are going to have conference tournament games from today all the way to Sunday. There's only going to be, I think, a select handful of games. I think most of these games are going to end up finishing Saturday from the way the tournaments look, but there's going to be a few championship games on Sunday. It's going to be a really busy week of college basketball. Like, for example, for the Big 10, their first conference game was yesterday, and they're going to be finished by March 11th. But their second and third rounds are going to be... Oh, wait, this game goes from March 9th to March 12th, so they take a little bit longer. I don't know, some of these conferences are weird. Some take 3 days, some take 4 days. But for the most part, yeah, I told you the names of the teams that have already clinched and are moving on. Now that's all that's left is there's just a lot of teams to, basically a lot of teams to play. We still got a lot of tournaments to go. I mean, I don't even think I can touch on the tournament yet. I thought, assuming today, we thought we'd be a round ahead, so I misjudged my days. That's on me. But yeah, like today, Rutgers, Michigan, we're starting the second round of like the Big 10, Big 12, all those conferences. Got Marquette against St. John's, Iowa State against Baylor. Like, we get games like that. Connecticut, Pravi, that's going to be a decent game today. Duke, Pitt, another decent one. Yeah, a lot of the conference games are going to start today for the lower seeds. And by lower seeds, I mean not the 1 through 4. The 1 through 4 seeds probably won't play for another day or two. But everyone else is pretty much playing at this point. So it's going to be a fun little conference tournament weekend. I thought I would be able to touch it more, but it's crazy. I think we're about 10 minutes in already, and I basically got everything I want to cover for the conference tournaments, because there's not much I can break down. I mean, I could show you the tournament. I think that's about it. I could show you the tournament and be like, oh, these are where these teams are playing at. This is where that. But there's like, these aren't done yet. And it's like, I could show you, like I said, I could show you the tournament and then show you basically the first round, because the first round's done for most of these tournaments. So I'll probably spend the rest of the day just talking about like a little bit of what to expect in March Madness, I guess. And like, because we saw the bracketology last week, UCLA is probably going to finish as a 1 seed, potentially, with how the record are. Purdue's going to need to probably win the Big Ten to finish as a 1 seed, I would say. Because I think I don't know, though. I mean, UCLA, unless they have a really bad loss, they probably are the 1 seed. Because if you look at all the stats between them and Purdue, they have one less loss than Purdue, and that's what a lot of people are saying is going to do them over, was the fact that they had the one less loss, and I think Purdue's loss is technically a little worse, if you want to go down that road. So that's going to be very interesting. When it comes down to that point, I don't know what's going to really happen there. Going down the rest of the list, like Xavier, UNC, North Carolina, Virginia, that's probably going to be a decent game. North Carolina, I think, needs to win that to get their tournament hopes alive, or keep them alive, I guess, because I think they basically need to win the tourney for them. They're going to be one of the first teams, I don't know if it's ever, but it's going to be the first team in a while to be ranked number 1 in the preseason poll and not make the tourney. I mean, they just had a really, really rough year. I don't know really what's going on with them. Something to share as well, I have a really fun 5-leg parlay that's 10 to win 1,100. It's Purdue to win Big 10, Kansas to win Big 12, Houston to win the American Athletic Conference, Texas A&M to win SEC, and Iona to win the MAC, the MAAC. Little fun. The odds are plus 170, plus 240, minus 310, plus 500, and minus 180. I also did a future on Texas A&M to win SEC Conference. I have a probably Final Four ticket, Oral Roberts Final Four ticket. And then 2 fun ones I have for the women's tournament. I have the LSU women's team to win the national championship, and then Iowa's women's team to win the national championship. One's 5 to win 90, one's 5 to win 130. I mean, Oh, they were fun for sprinkles. I heard them mentioned a little bit yesterday, and then I went to go look in the books myself, and I thought the odds. I thought the odds when those were a little too high. For LSU's case, for the women's side, I think LSU just has a good women's team. They're ranked third. Multiple times I saw them. They were ranked third, and I thought I haven't seen much of their games. Honestly, I don't. Not to be that guy, but I don't watch much college basketball this year on the women's side. I mean, I know Caitlin Clark in Iowa. I know Mackenzie Holmes in Indiana just from like names and seeing some stuff, but I didn't follow it too closely. But yeah, I like the odds for Iowa and LSU. LSU's like plus 2,500. Iowa's like plus 1,700. Iowa's the best player I think in college basketball. That's the closest thing that Steph Curry women's basketball is probably going to get. I mean, she is simply amazing. So I like those two futures tickets. I don't mind them at all. Honestly, and then we'll look at the national championship for the men's side. Men's side, I don't even have a prediction yet. But when it comes to like Texas A&M to win the SEC conference, I just think that win against Alabama, I think they're going to take that into a hot streak. They only got to play like 2 or 3 games, and if they can do it, they win the conference tourney the way they have it set up. So I'm hoping they can do that, but it's going to be probably a little tough facts. You can bet on the conference of the national championship. So Big 12 is plus 310, SEC plus 400, American Athletic plus 490, Big 10 plus 500, Big East plus 650, Pac-12 plus 650, and then goes down. Not bad, honestly. For those wondering if you're interested in taking fun sprinkles on the women's national basketball champion, South Carolina's minus 190, Stanford's 800, Indiana's 900, Connecticut's 1,100, Iowa's plus 1,700, LSU's plus 2,500. And then I won't even lie to you, there's a bet that South Carolina versus the field to win the national championship. The field is plus 140. That's kind of tempting to take just because, like, I think, like I said, South Carolina is good, I think, but, like, there's some teams in the women's side that's actually, I think the women's side is finally a little bit more balanced than it has been. Years past, it used to be, especially me growing up, it used to be UConn. UConn women's team just ran it for forever. They won like 100 and some games straight for a while. And then South Carolina basically took over and they've ran the table. I think this is the first time in a while, potentially, that the women's side is starting to finally get a little parity and it's starting to get a little bit equaled out. I think there's more teams that have a chance to win than South Carolina, so then to be favored by 190. The fact they're even favored, I mean, sheesh. But yeah, sorry, super sidetracked. We just had some, I don't know, when I edit it, I don't know if you're going to be able to hear it or not, but I had a hold one bet on FanDuel that I didn't use for the whole 17. That was like plus, it was like a 50% profits boot. I could have got it to like plus 400 or 500 for somebody to get a hole in one, and they did, and I didn't take it. So that was very frustrating. But no, I don't know if you'll be able to hear it or not. We just had a cat attack someone and they were screaming, so you might hear that in the background. I don't know if we'll be able to edit it out or not, but yeah, for the most part, conference tournaments are just going to start today. Not too for the ones, I guess they didn't start today, but most of them are going to start today. Like most of the, now we're finally starting to get to the teams. We're going to start playing more, going to start rolling. It's just, yeah, it's basically just a mad dash now to Selection Sunday, and then we'll have the madness. It's crazy. I actually don't know when the start date is. I'm going to try to look this up real quick. Yeah, because I actually don't know when the tournament starts, so I'm going to double check this. I believe, so Selection Sunday is March 12th, this Sunday, which is upcoming. And the first 4 are going to be March 14th to 15th, so that's a Tuesday, Wednesday. And then the first round will be Thursday, Friday, second round, Saturday, Sunday, and then it goes in the next week will be Sweet 16, Elite 8. And then we'll have Final Four April 1st. So Sweet 16 is March 23rd to 24th, Elite 8 is 25th to 26th. Final Four is April 1st. Championships games April 3rd, baby. So I just want to read, so the Final Four is going to be in Houston this year. So Houston has a chance that if they can go to the Final Four, they're going to have a huge advantage with the home crowd. Okay, and then the rest of that turns to the region. I was just curious what the Final Four is. So yeah, legit, we're on the cusp of the madness happening, baby. And it's just, in my opinion, this is the second best time of the year minus football season and the playoffs in football. Personally, for me, I love me some March Madness. Gonna be a lot of betting, a lot of game watching. I just remember like the days at school where you would have the March Madness app on your phone. You know, it's like 7th, 8th period, the games are finally getting started. You're stuck in classes. You got to hide it and everything just to be able to watch the games. And just a lot of fun. Last year's March Madness was really awesome. That was the first bracket in a while. I think I predicted the championship right. I had Kansas and UNC. My bracket by no means was like that good. It was all right, but I think it was the first time, very rarely, where I had both teams right and had the right team to win. I had Kansas winning last year, so that was really cool. Puts a lot of pressure on myself to get it right this year, but no, honestly, I was shocked that I even got it right last year. I thought it was really cool. It's just one of the best things ever, honestly. It's just making a bracket and trying to get it perfect, you know. I've been doing this since my sophomore year in high school, so it's been about 6-7 years now, where I've made a bracket, and there's been one time where I almost got out of the first weekend. I remember to this day, it was either, I say that and I'm about to give you 2 different dates, but no, I can't remember if it was my sophomore or junior year of high school. It's one of those two where I want to say it's sophomore because I was in baseball at the time, but I could be totally wrong. It might have been the year after, but regardless, I had my tournament bracket literally go. So I think my senior year is funny because it got busted right away because of Trey fucking Young, because he, in Oklahoma, just got upset in the first round by a team that was way worse than they were, and he played, I think, pretty bad. So I'll never forget that one either, that my bracket literally lasted one day, got busted. Or not even one day, it lasted one game. First game it was busted. But no, for that perfect one, it literally got to like the last 3 or 4 games of that Sunday. Like I'm telling you, like the whole first round, like game, right. And it was the last like 3 or 4 games, and I missed like 1 or 2 games. It's just like, man, bro. I was so excited, man. I doubt I hit a perfect bracket, but there's no, like, I mean, I have never felt, I mean, there's been some nerve level, like betting-wise, some nerve levels when it comes to close games like that, but man, like, with that bracket, like, just for the pride, like, I was in that game, because by that point, most of my friends, like, kind of knew, like, what my bracket was, and they kind of knew the games I had, so it was, like, a full, like, little community for a minute, like, oh, okay, let's see if we can actually get this right, that'd be really cool, and then, yeah, of course I didn't, but it is what it is, it happens, but no, I'm just, like, really pumped. Today's going to be a little bit of a weirder episode. It's just kind of, like, bouncing around all over the place, like, college basketball-wise, but it's just, like, I might have used this, like, as a primer to the madness, because next time I'll be on the show, it's going to be March Madness talk. We're going to have a bracket. We're going to have the team we're going to who's in, we're going to who's out. We're going to have the first 4 upcoming. It's going to be a great time, man, honestly. Honestly, that's probably where I'm going to end it here today. A little shorter again. But, you know, we're just growing up. Big things upcoming here soon. I got plans for the summer to hopefully get some big upgrades for the channel going into next year. And just along with that, it's going to be real exciting. So, I don't know if much will change during March Madness. You might notice, like, 1 or 2 small things. We'll see. But I'm hoping by the time, like, end of May, early June kicks around, like, that's when the real start of stuff. Because I'm up to stuff. Basically, just know that here in the near future that this channel is going to be looking like, it's going to still look the same, still a lot of the stuff's going to be the same, but it's just going to be nicer, crisper, and cleaner, basically. Try to clean up a lot of little bullshit. But thank you guys again for watching. Tomorrow, Captain by Hook with Redbeard. No idea what we're going to talk about. Probably more college basketball. I think we're probably just going to go over the conference tournaments again. Talk a little bit of the March Madness bracket itself, and then next time you see me on Monday, I'll be talking some more NFL news per usual, talk a little bit about the bracket, and then by the Thursday, we'll be talking about the last 4 games in, and I will basically just go over how I feel about the bracket. And then I do think I have a story cooking for, so next Thursday, I have it written down already, I do have a story cooking that I'm going to talk a little bit NFL-wise. Might end up having to save it. I don't really want to. I didn't realize. I kind of forgot that, oh yeah, hey, March Madness is going to be starting the day after you drop it. So I might still do it. Might push it back a little bit. We'll have to see. But yeah, so next week, one more time, just go over it again. NFL News Monday. Basically, bracket talk. Because the bracket's going to be out. So it's going to be Monday. Monday's going to be NFL offseason news. And my initial reactions to the bracket, how I feel, teams I like, all that. Then Thursday, maybe this story on a certain NFL player. I'll tease it. I have an NFL player I like who I think this might be their make or break season for them career-wise, and I'm really excited to talk about it, honestly. So we'll have that on Thursday potentially, or I'll save it for the following Thursday. We'll see. And along with that, we'll just go over My for sure probably picks I like for the first few games for the March Madness bracket. Some potential upsets I could see happening, and then we'll just appear by Captain by a Hook with the Red Beard again on that Friday, and probably talk more basketball. But yeah, it's basically the season of college basketball. A lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to talk about, man. A lot of fun to watch. You get to see these kids, like, dreams and aspirations all go in 40 minutes. There's just some game, like you could tell, like Gonzaga St. Mary's game, for example. Them boys were tight. There was a lot of missed shots, a lot of heart skipping a beat, stuff like that. It's just, man, there's nothing like I don't truly say it, there's nothing like playoff atmosphere in sports. I mean, the mistakes get massive. Mistakes become more massive. Everything you do becomes a lot tighter, a lot closer looked at. You can't. One simple mistake could make or break you, and you never know when that mistake was going to come. There's always going to be momentum. Momentum will be on your side for a little bit, then it'll be on their side, and it's that third time who's going to get in and be able to control it. It's just, man, especially March Madness. You got one game. Any team can win. We saw it yesterday with Nebraska losing to Minnesota in the opening round. I mean, anything can really happen. It's great. That's why it's called Madness, baby. Anything can happen. So I want to thank everyone for watching. I'll see everybody on Friday. I'll see a few of you on Friday with Captain by Hook with the Red Beard. But yeah, basically, appearing on the show Friday. We're going to talk some more college basketball tomorrow. And then, like I said, Monday, the madness is officially here, man. We just got a few more days. It's been a really fun tune-up to the March Madness. And, man, I just cannot wait to watch some college basketball.